Hi, good day everybody. So we'll be going to talk about the Unit 2 Lesson 1, which is all about the financial statement. So the financial statement is composed of the income statement, the balance sheet, and the cash flow. But first is we need to discuss about the income statement. Income statement is also known as the comprehensive income statement, which shows the results of the operation of the business and the expenses incurred, which are considered as temporary accounts. Okay, the accounting values or permanent accounts, when shown together with temporary accounts, are called accounting elements of financial statements. The period covered by the income may be for the month ended, for the quarter ended, and for the year ended. So, dani nga example is focus nanda sa isa ka bulan. So, for the month ended August 31 to 2020. The income statement is composed of, as what I have said earlier, the revenue. So the revenue in layman's language, it denotes money or proceeds from services rendered by a servicing company or income from use by other entities of the resources of the enterprises such as rent income, royalties, and etc. And expenses, costs and expenses, it denotes the benefit received by the business from its use without had help in carrying out its operation, like salaries expense, shop supplies, rent expenses, office furniture, and salaries and wages expense. And profit or loss, so income statement, di rin nato makita kung nakaginansya ba ta or wala. But for this example, klaro kayo nga nakaginansya ta, di ba? Because wala siya na negative. So the profit of the month is equivalent to the 77,000 pesos. So wala ta na net loss. And for the headings sa atong income statement, the heading of the income statement is the name of the business. The name of the business is Sun Beauty Shop. And title of the report, income statement. Okay? Do not forget the name of the business, the title of the report, and the period covered by the report. The period covered by the report is, as what I have said earlier, na-focus na sa isa ka bulan. So, atong title is for the month ended August 31, 2020. So, muna siya si income statement from derived this amount here na atong gibutan is derived from the transaction given. So, I think that's all for...
Hello, good day everyone. So we will continue our discussion for this day. So we are now going to tackle about the cash flow. So what is cash flow? This is the movement of all the cash accounts in your company or in your business. So it represents about cash inflows and it also represents the cash outflows. And of course, the net cash flow. Okay, what is in the cash inflows? So cash inflows is all the money that is ni-enter or nisulod sa imong business. Just for example, you have your sales. Okay, if you are going to have your Sun Beauty Shop, so of course, your sales is about beauty, right? Sabon ba or whatever that is included or that is aligned with your beauty shop. Okay, example is your sales. You have 1 million of your sales. That would be your sales in the month of August 2020. And of course, don't forget if you render services in your business, so don't forget to write service income as your inflows. For example, you render your services 500,000. So that would be your inflows. This would be all you earn for the month of August. So 1 million plus 500,000. Don't forget to write your total here, 1,500,000. Okay, that would be your inflows. That is so simple if you are going to have the movement of all your cash. So next one is the cash outflows. So cash outflows class is the opposite of your inflows. If you have earned in your business, so for sure you have also your expenses in your business. So what are the examples of your expenses? For example, you have your salaries and wages expense. What does it means if we say about salaries and wages expense? That means that you have your laborer or the manpower. You need to pay them for their service that they are going to have in your business. For example, you have your salaries and wages expense. This is for the month of August. So, for example, their monthly income or monthly salaries and wages is 20,000. Then, just write 20,000 here. Next one is utility expense. Okay, ma'am, unsa man ang utilities expense? That is your water expense and of course, your electricity expense. Your business will not be realized if wala mo utilities or wala electricity and of course, wala ang inyong water. So, for example, you have your 15,000 by month. So, tako ra na siya ba? This is also assumptions or estimations. Don't you worry, class. We will not be having a net loss in our business. Next one is equipments. You need to buy your equipments. You have here 10,000. Okay, that would be all for your cash outflows. But don't forget, class, that all your expenses, bisag kung sa pa na siya in a little amount or a big amount, don't forget to write that one in the outflows so that you can foresee if you have loss or if you have profit in your business. Then, how about, ma'am, for the net cash flow? Simply, you need to subtract the inflows and the cash flow. But before that, we are going to subtract the cash flow. But we need also to add the 20,000, 15,000, and 10,000. Pila man na siya tanan? We have 20 plus 15, 35, and plus 10 is 45,000. So you have your expenses of 45,000. Okay? For the net cash flow, sorry, naninawag. Okay, for the net cash flow, you need only to subtract the inflows, 1,500,000, subtracted to the outflows of 45,000, pila na naman ang nabili. So you have your 1,455,000 in your business, if I am not mistaken. So, class, so dili mo siya makita if you have, as what Ma'am Michelle told you earlier, that if your revenue is greater than your expenses, that means that you have a profit. But if your revenue is lesser than your expenses, that means that your business is na a loss. So, but don't you worry, this is also if your business has a loss in first year, don't you worry because you invested a lot in your business. But in the preceding years, the year 2, the year 3, and so on and so forth, so for sure you have your profit. And if your inflows and your outflows will be equal, so that is break even. You don't have your profit and you don't have your loss as well. So that would be all for your cash.
Okay, good day to everyone. So for continuation for the financial statements, so earlier we discussed about the income statement and cash flow. Now, for the last part of the financial statement is the balance sheet. So we all know that the balance sheet shows the financial position of the company of a certain date. So that is called, the balance sheet is also called the statement of financial position. So a balance sheet shows the financial position, of course, of the company. And now, this is an example of a typical balance sheet. And the typical balance sheet, it starts with the heading, of course, the title, heading, no, inyong company name ninyo. Then second line, the title of the report, and the third line is the date of the transaction. Okay, we notice that the third line start off the word as of. So as of August 31, 2020. Okay, unlike the other components of the financial statements, which cover a span of the time that the start of for the period ended or for the month ended. So the balance sheet presents information as of a certain date, example now, as of August 31, 2020. So a balance sheet, of course, summarizes the assets and liabilities and the owner's equity of the company. So asset refers to the properties owned and controlled by the company. While liabilities, of course, the obligation to creditors, lenders, and others. And the capital, of course, represent the portion that is left for the owners of the business after all the liabilities are paid. So assets and liabilities are classified as either, of course, kabalo na mo na current assets and non-current assets. And of course, atong liabilities, nagyan po si current liabilities and non-current liabilities. Of course, the total assets and the total liabilities and owner's equity should always be equal. So muna ginatawag na kaya nato nga balance. So balance dapat ang asset nato ang liabilities and owner's equity. And this is part lang sa atong balance sheet, no? Ang sa balance sheet nato, of course, balik ko na ko ang assets and then the liabilities and owner's equity. So we all know that assets is equal to the liabilities and owner's equity. So for this example, the current assets of the Sun Beauty Shop, of course, na siya cash na 190,000. So accounts receivable, so wala siya na, so 0. And then the non-current is the property and equipment, so 80,000. And the total assets is 270,000. Now for the liabilities and owner's equity, current liabilities example is the accounts payable, that is 0, so wala siya utang. Rent payable na siya meron nun nga 10,000. O na siya loans payable, that is under the non-current liability, that is 70,000. And the capital, money capital is 190,000. So when we add this portion, the liabilities and owner's equity is a total of 270,000. So we see that the assets, total assets, 270,000 is equals to the liabilities and owner's equity. And that's all for the